On the agenda for today, we will be covering 5 areas during our demonstration. Our first area will be on continuous unavailability, then employee start date restriction. We'll then be looking at the rate sheet area and where base rates can be configured. Going into the finance area, we'll be looking at the payroll and invoice multi-tab export. Now, to provide a brief outline of what these features are in the 2018.5 release. Continuous unavailability, when enabled against your unavailability types in the settings area, allows an unavailability to run continuously within an employee's record without any breaks. In the example to the left, sickness covers the start and end time from the start and end date of the unavailability. In the example to the right, the continuous unavailability ensures that the days between the start date and the end date covers a full 24-hour period. A new module and function have been introduced to disable the ability to adjust the start date of an employee's record. You will be able to set restrictions against specific users to ensure that said users are not able to amend the start date within an employee's record. To switch on this feature globally, you will need to contact a member of our support team. When using national minimum wage, it's common for the top-up value to be calculated from the pay rate of the employee. In introducing a base rate to the payroll area, this will ensure that the national minimum wage is calculated from the exact hourly rate that you have entered within that column and ignore the pay rate that the employee will receive for each specific visit. Within the finance area, both for payroll and invoice, we've introduced a multi-tab export which will show all information regarding your payroll and your invoice on one exportable document. And now for our first demonstration. To record continuous unavailability, you will need to ensure that the unavailability types in settings have been configured to allow that option. Coming on to settings, I'm going to come to HR, employee, and availability types. Selecting the correct unavailability type, we'll take the continuous option and save. Now, to record this continuous unavailability, we're going to go to the home area, HR, employee, and find. Selecting the employee's record, we're going to come to the availability area in the quick links menu, choose unavailability, and select the plus button. In this area, you will select the correct unavailability type. You log the start date of the unavailability and the end date of the unavailability. You will then begin to enter the start and end time. Once completed, you select Save. Clicking into the Overview tab and selecting the monthly view, when an unavailability has been logged, you will be able to see whether or not it's continuous within this area. In this example, my unavailability begins on the 4th of June at 9 AM. This will run continuously between the start date and the end date for a full 24-hour period, and on the end date, this unavailability will end at 11 AM. New functionality has been added to ensure that the start date within an employee's record cannot be amended. This setting can be switched on globally for all users. In order to do so, you will need to speak with a member of our support team. If you would like to restrict specific users from accessing the start date option, you will be able to set this within the profiles area of the settings area. To restrict a specific user from having the ability to amend the start date of an employee's record, you can come onto the settings area, Other, Profile Users, and Users. In this area, you will select the specific user's name, you come to the Modules and Functions area, you come into Employee. Scrolling down through this list, you will be able to see a list of areas which can be disabled or enabled against specific users. If you would like to restrict a user from editing the employee's start date, in this area you will select Start Date Update and click the Save option. What this will ensure is when that user logs on, they will not be able to edit the employee's start date within their record. Base rates can be configured within the settings area to ensure that when the system calculates national minimum wage top-up, that this top-up value is based on the base rate column rather than the hourly rate that the employee would receive for each specific visit. To configure base rates, in the settings area, you'll come to Finance, Payroll, and Rate Sheets. Selecting the rate sheet to turn the hour green, you click on the Revisions tab. Selecting the revision, you will be able to see here a base rate per hour column. If you were to enter the base rate figure in this column here, this will ensure that the base rate entered will apply across the board regardless of the specific base rate you may give individual visits in the rate sheet. If you would like to set a base rate for specific types of visits, you'll come to the Details area. We've introduced this base rate per hour column for each service listed against the rate sheet. In this example, my carers will receive £9 for each of their care call. Providing that you would like the national minimum wage top-up to calculate from the base rate instead of the pay rate, you will enter the base rate value in this area. Once edited, you select the Save option. If utilising national minimum wage, you will need to ensure that the national minimum wage is set to take its rate from the base rate and not the pay rate. In order to do this, on the Settings area, you come to Other, Company, you select National Minimum Wage, select the National Minimum Wage, and you will choose the calculation rate type as base rate and save. In this final demonstration, I will show you how to locate our payroll and invoice multi-tab export. On the payroll export, you will be able to identify the payroll run period, the duties that are being paid for, any expenses, travel, minimum wage top-ups, ad hoc pay, and holiday pay. To locate this export, you come to Finance, Payroll, and Management. Selecting the correct payroll period, you click on the export icon and choose Export to Multi-tab. This will download in an Excel format all the information related to a specified payroll period. In the summary area, you will be able to see a summary of the overall payroll figures. You will be able to work your way across these tabs, seeing everything relating to that particular payroll period, including any visit expenses, ad hoc payments, travel payments, wait time, minimum wage top-up, or any holiday pay. To locate the Invoice multi-tab export, you come to Finance, Invoice, and Management. You'll use the arrow to the left of the relevant invoice period. You'll use the Export icon and choose Export to Multi-tab. Once downloaded, you will be able to view a summary of your invoice period, any visits to which you're charging for, expenses, ad hoc invoices, and travel that you would have included in your invoice period. Thank you for watching.